Hello, US 101. This is finals week, and I'm going to try to make this as brief as possible. But I'm always sad at the end of a semester because I get to I don't know. I don't even get to meet you guys really, but it's like I enjoy my time with my students and this growing and learning process together. And I do wish, I do miss the being in a classroom when we can connect and you guys can ask more questions and we can make sure that things are more clear. But in any case, I really do appreciate going over U.S. history together. And here I've been traveling. This is my last night I'll be spending in the Netherlands, and I'm going back to Thailand for round 2. I've just about used up all my Europe time. As an American, we can only stay, 90 days at a time, and then we have to be gone for 90, unless you have a work permit. But thinking about the United States, I have to say that just like when I studied a foreign language, I really didn't understand how English worked until I studied a foreign language, and then I understood how language worked, not just my own language, but how language worked. And I think having the chance to travel more is making me think more about the positive things that the U.S. has to offer when I realize I really am an American, straight up. And there's so many times where I've been in different countries where something happens and I'm just like, oh, that's not how we do. But then, on the other hand, I've been seeing that we could be doing a lot better. And for Americans, I'm really kind of just fed up, and I think I mentioned this in my first announcements, this idea that Americans say that we're the best in the world or we're the worst in the world. We like always being the top. We want to be the highest or the lowest. No. That's arrogance. It's good to take pride, and it's good to be critical, but we just need to have an honest assessment of ourselves. And I'm hoping that as you study this U.S. history and you look at where you live, and we look at where we've been, maybe this will help us all kind of break out of very dark times coming. I want to be real with you here. Coming especially into Europe and here, there are new battles coming. It's not an exaggeration to say this is kind of like the 1930s. And what I mean is that democracy and the world order as it stands isn't working for many of the people in the world. And people are doing what they did in the past. They're looking to systems or ideas that are outside of this. And maybe sometimes some of those ideas are good, but many of these ideas are not so good. And we just need to be very careful. We should be very diligent, and we should study hard and make sure that we're not being duped by not only just fake news, but just really bad information or misleading information. I'll just say this, that the politics, and I know this is going to sound like I'm promoting a particular thing, but I think it's a fair statement. Now that I've been living just long enough within European nations and seeing different things, the Bernie Sanders model is just normal politics in Europe. So it's not radical. It's not a socialist revolution. It's not the Soviet Union. It's not North Korea. So just stop that nonsense. If you think it's not good for America, if you think that having universal health care and education reduction in cost or any of those kind of things, or more social services for working class people, if you think that that's not a good idea, then that's a fair debate. But stop acting like that platform is radical, because you don't. It's not Venezuela, it's not Cuba, it's Sweden, it's Germany, it's France, it's the Netherlands, it's where I've been living in this place, okay? And things are pretty nice. They're working, right? So But it doesn't mean. I mean, I realize that they're still open for discussion. I'm just saying, just forget that part. And just remember, right, every liberal in America is not a socialist, and not every conservative is a fascist. But also, I want to say this one last thing. The word liberal in economics in Europe means less welfare, more markets. It's the opposite in the United States. So also, I want to just say what gets really confusing is that when Europeans start talking about politics, or you see the news, so like Macron in France is being protested for his liberal policies and his economics, which is meaning his actually opposite of what Democrats would be accused of. So he's not like the Democrats when they say liberal. It's the opposite. It's more like the Republicans. So just throw that out there on that particular issue. So anyways, I said I'd be brief, and of course I'm going off on different things. And again, the last thing, race, slavery, yeah, it's been a thing. It's been a big part of our history. And it's not been that long ago. And segregation wasn't that long ago. So stop saying everybody needs to get over it. What we just need to do, we do need constructive ways to address things and move on. But America, we're very young. We're very young, and our problems have been very recent, and our benefits. So having said that, I want you all to have a great Christmas and Happy New Year. And I hope that all of your families thrive and that you thrive, and we'll be in touch as needed. I look forward to having some connection with you all again in the future.